President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping held a historic meeting in Moscow where they signed an economic agreement. A book called Pandamonium, China's Global Strategy to Cripple America by Curtis Ellis, who served on Donald Trump's 2016 campaign as a senior policy advisor, dives into China's effect on America. I want to welcome political columnist Maxine Albert, who is committed to getting Curtis Ellis's message out. Thank you for being here, Maxine.
Thank you for having me.
So this year, we have seen what has been called credible threats from China, including spy balloons, TikTok bans, and the revelation that COVID may have originated in a Wuhan lab. So now this meeting with Putin, how concerned should American citizens be?
Oh, well, that's a great question. China built and is building the biggest navy in the world, the most modern navy in the world. That's how they're going to attack Taiwan, which they said they will take back Taiwan. And our navy, not only has the government acted in the same way that they've done with manufacturing and like letting it go overseas, but we've closed navy yards. We can't make the ships anymore. They're all in maintenance. It's just another story of how China has overtaken us. And when you bring up the balloon, you know, some guy in Montana looks up at the sky and sees a Chinese spy balloon that's been hovering over our missile silos, nuclear missile silos, and all of a sudden the country wakes up. But Curtis Ellis knew about this for decades and decades. And he said that, you know, it's all about the money. Washington slept because the corporate elite, you know, was paid. They made money. Wall Street made money. The China's lobbyists lobbied our politicians. So actually, the first wake-up call was the pandemic, when we saw that we didn't have enough pharmaceuticals, that everything came from China. And just yesterday, saw a report that we have a shortage of pharmaceuticals. So we should be very concerned.
Well, speaking about finance, Senator Jerry Moran said, "The People's Republic of China is our greatest threat to democracy, to our peace, and to our prosperity." He called to essentially ban China from U.S. financial markets. What are your thoughts on cutting China off?
Well, you know what Curtis said was, you know, it's always all about the money. And the reason that we, the U.S., the people, the government, we've made China into this great economic power, into this great economic and military power. And the way that we did it was feeding them, giving them things. They have trading things, sweetheart trading deals. And Curtis says that the only way to do it is to cut off their power. You know, to go back and cut off it's crazy that we're dependent on our biggest enemy for the essential things that we need. Curtis Ellis takes us back to the beginning of our country when our founding fathers based everything on the American way of buy things here, make things here, buy things here, and how this made our country in the greatest industrial power in the world, how we've strayed from that and how to take our country back. So each time you buy something that's made in China, it's not only a threat to jobs, but it's a national security threat. And the way that he said it's kind of like to stop feeding the dragon.
Speaking of national security threats, if you've been keeping up, of course, several states and other countries have banned TikTok, which is a Chinese-owned social media app. They banned it from government-issued devices. If it's that much of a security threat, do you see a total ban on TikTok ever happening?
I don't know if a total ban is going to happen because it's all about the money. You know, people want to make money. And that was the exact thing that Curtis Ellis says in this book, that people saw that we were sold out. The American public was sold out. Will they ban it? I don't know. The thing is, we have to hold our government accountable and see that TikTok seems to be a way of keeping track of America and an espionage thing. So just like the balloon, would you ever think that they would be brazen enough to have a Chinese balloon in plain sight? You know, they're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And as the House Select Committee on China said, China does not respect weakness.
Absolutely. And